Hello, my YouTube family and friends. I pray that everyone is having a beautiful, blessed Sunday in the mighty name of Jesus. If you have not said it already, let's say it together. Thank you, Jesus, for another day. It's a blessing, y'all, to be alive. I'm on my way back to church. We have a meeting. Supposed to start at 1:30, and I'm, of course, running late. I was a little bit on time, but I had a delivery from Amazon for the dryer. We had our knob, well, it's partially my fault, but the knob on the dryer that we have is a turn knob, and that can't, it's in the condo, and it's been working fine since we've been in there since November. But all of a sudden, yesterday, the knob, I turned it. It's a ignite button, a start button, and then you got to operate it with the turning the knob on the very dry, more less dry, whatever, and it just wouldn't work. And so I was like, what's going on? So I was like, oh, I know what I can do. I can just go to Ace Hardware somewhere and get some pliers, and I was going to do it like that until we can get, the knob, whatever. So then I Googled, went on YouTube, and there was a few videos about the dryer, and it said to just order another knob. And I was like, oh yeah. So I looked on Amazon, and knob was like $6. I was like, yes. So it just came, the knob just came. That's why I'm running a little late. It just came, and so I was so excited. I said, oh, I gotta see if it works. And so my youngest son, he said the dryer did come on with that, but he said we're not gonna be able to tell how far along it is. Like it could stop, because we don't know what cycle it's on. Like if it's on very dry, less dry, whatever. And so I said, yeah. So anyway, y'all, but I'm learning. I don't let nothing get the best of me like it used to. It does frustrate me, because I'm like, why would that drive? We've been in that place since November, and all of a sudden that happened. But I know things happen, because these machines, they wear out, and that's just life. So, and it could have been on his way, whoever used to live there, whatever, I don't know, but both that dryer and the washer is really good, and they look like they're practically new. But I was just like, why is it giving me some trouble? But anyway, I just we may have to just end up getting another dryer. I didn't really want to do that. That's why I was hoping the quick fix was gonna work, because I was like, okay, if I have to wait. And then it worked out where that not only was it $6 the knob, but it came today. I ordered it last night, so I was like, yes. But like I said, it's I don't think my youngest son, he's like, I don't know if this is gonna work, because see, the knob, by me getting those pliers, I messed it up. I chipped away a little at that little knob, that the little metal part that the knob has to go on, which operates the cycles, and I chipped away at some of the formation of that metal part. So anyway, y'all, I wasn't thinking when I did that yesterday, because I was trying to think, because in my mind, I was like, well, I could just use the pliers and just turn it. But it's not that kind of knob, actually, and I should have thought more about that before I did that, because it's not that kind of knob where you do that. You have to sort of put some elbow into it to get it to turn. Like it's not an easy turn. That's what I'm trying to say, because it's more of a square metal thing than a circular one, But anyway, we'll figure it out, y'all. I'm just gonna probably, when I get off work tomorrow, we have to have a dryer. My youngest son was like, Mama, we could just hang up. I was like, nope, we're not doing that. We're not doing that stuff. We're not gonna play that game. We gotta have some good smelling, clean, dry clothes. So back in the day, they hung them up, which we've had to do that before when we lived in our home in Tennessee. But I don't want to do that. That's, and your clothes are not fully dry that way. In my opinion, they're not. So, you know, I just, you know, I feel like you wash your clothes, you want them dry right away, and I don't want to deal with that. So I'll just, when I get off tomorrow, I'm gonna go and check out, see if we get us a dryer. Excuse me. We'll just do that because I don't want to have to, you know. And we told the man who, you know, we rent from, we informed him, so he knows what's going on too. But you know, later on, not right now, because that's something that we, you know, whatever we need to do with that, we'll pay him or whatever. But right now, we just need a dryer, so I will go ahead and we just, you know, need to be able to access the dryer, get our clothes dry. So it just worked out. I started washing clothes Friday night, my clothes. I didn't wash, usually I wash my towels, but like Friday night I washed my clothes. And so anyway, you know, I got all my clothes washed or whatever, and then my son, he's washed all his, but we haven't, my daughter, I don't think any of her stuff has been washed, so I think she still got quite a few stuff that she can wear, but yeah, I was just like, because I'm just so accustomed to, you know, on the weekend, it's just like by now, all the clothes have been washed, you know, by now, and it's like almost 1:30 here, and then I'll start washing the bedding, you know, it's just what I do every Sunday, every weekend, and so this weekend a little different. I didn't get a chance to do everything I normally do, but it's okay. It'll get taken care of. But I just like for all of the clothes and the bedding to be good and clean, and just, you know, start the new week. Get ready for the new week. But things change, things happen. So like I said, we just got to learn how to just go with the flow. That's what I'm learning. And of all people should know that. Just go with the flow. That's what I've been having to do. Go with the Jesus flow, not just with the flow, with the Jesus flow. That's what I've been having to do for 3 years now. So that's what we do. That's what we do over here. So I'm not complaining. I'm thankful that, and my youngest son, they always encourage me. They said, Mama, at least thankfully it was the dryer and not the washer. I said, yeah, that's true. He said, because I'd rather have the dryer not working than the washer. I said, yep, you got a point there, son. You got a point. So, similar thing happened to us when we were at the other condo. That washer, that dryer, it was a lot newer than this one. It was a Whirlpool, but that one one day it just stopped working. It just stopped working. And it was one of those, what do you call it, compact. It was in a closet, and you know, the dryer on top, washer on the bottom. And we went to use it one day, and it just quit working. And it stopped working. It was, we moved out in July. It stopped working like, I think 2 or 3 months before we moved out. And I was like, really? It had been working fine. I mean, it would get the clothes so hot, y'all, and they get dry pretty. But I actually did notice, it was one time, that last 1 or 2 times before it just quit working, I did notice the clothes were not, I had to keep, you know, repeating the cycle. I did notice that, and I'm like, what's going on? So see, I'm pretty sure that was a sign that it was getting ready to, you know, stop working. Because I looked it up, I was Googling and YouTube videos and everything, and it kept saying about the heating element, the coil or heating coil or whatever, and something's going on. But you know, to be honest, a lot of times, not trying to put blame on anyone, but a lot of times people who are renting or people who used to live in these places, they have misused stuff, they have did stuff, you know, and then it just so happens, you know, whoever's next in line, you know, whoever next getting that, you know, that place to live, you know, they end up getting the other end of whatever was going on. So, you know, and I'm not putting blame on anybody, but I'm just being honest. That's life, you know, it's just life. But again, I'm thankful. I'm not complaining. It could be worse. So just have to deal with it. But I'm gonna, you know, I'm able to get us another dryer, so I'll do that, because like I said, we have to have, that's my thing, y'all. I'm like, okay, we gotta wash, we gotta have a dryer, we gotta wash we gotta have clean clothes, we have to have clean and dry clothes. So yeah, we'll get it taken care of. But I pray you all are having a beautiful, blessed day today. Like I said, it's just a lot of stuff that I'm having to deal with, you know, by myself. Not really by myself, because my children, they help me. But my youngest son, he helps me a lot. But it's just, I'm so used to, you know, my late husband. Okay, he'll get it taken care of. He'll fix it. And it's just it's on me to do it now, you know, which is fine. God is helping us. But I'm so used to, I'm that type of person. I just want everything to be running good all the time. But that's not how it is. It's really not how it is. So, but that's minor, because it's somebody somewhere, they don't even have a washer or a dryer. So I look at stuff that way too, because I remember when we were in the hotels, the extended stay. Now, extended stay, we could just choose the washer and the dryer, because it was, but you know, I don't know if y'all ever did that, but had to do that, but to stay there longer than a weekend or whatever. But those, that's not cheap. You're going to at least spend $10, $12, however many clothes you got. You know, it depends on how much you got to wash and stuff. But so that's not cheap. And then I remember that I think it was 2 nights we stayed at Motel 6. We had to. I went down there because I was like, ooh, I took a peek in the room, and I was like, okay, they got a pretty good size wash and dry room. Wash and dryer, and I was like, I could just fit all the clothes in there. Y'all, that thing took out money, and it was just real. It was just real. What's the word? Sketchy. It took out money, and the clothes weren't even that dry. They weren't dry at all, and just damp. You know, it didn't even get your clothes dry. And I believe what was going on. It's a big heavy duty dryer and washer. The washer did fine, but it's the dryer. It was a big heavy duty dryer, but I don't think you can stuff it. Like, I was stuffing it, because we were on we were on the 2nd or the 3rd floor. I can't remember. I think it was the 2nd. And it was just a hassle trying to go back downstairs. You know, I was like, ugh, I just want to get it done and get it over with and get back upstairs to the room. But yeah, we would have probably come out better taking it to a laundromat. We probably would have come out a whole lot better. So yeah, that's what I could have did. I wasn't even thinking. I'm not really doing. I got the rest of the evening. I could have just washed all the clothes, and I could have just took them to the laundromat and dried them. And until like I said, it's not that. It's nothing that's waiting to be dried. So my son, he's already washed and dried his, hanging his stuff up. So yeah, we're okay. I think we're okay. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna, like I said, when I get off work tomorrow, I'll go and take care of that and do what we need to do with that. It'll be okay. But it's so pretty here, y'all. 70 degrees. But so yeah, this meeting that I'm headed to is it's basically where the pastor, they have them. I think they have them like maybe once, or I think it's once every so many months or something. But I normally, I didn't have access to a car, so I had, I don't normally go. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna go, because a lady, me and her was talking after church, and sweet lady, she's a widow too, and we were just talking, and we didn't get a chance to, because someone else walked up, and me and him always talk about, whatever's happening in the news or whatever, older gentleman. And so she said, I'll let you go. And she said, are you gonna come to? And I totally had forgotten about the meeting. And she said, are you gonna be here at 1:30? And I said, yeah. I just said yeah, because I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Because the pastor, he mentioned it, but I totally forgot about it, to be honest. And when she said that, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go. And so I'm gonna let her know that when I get to it, cause she said we'll talk this evening, but I'm gonna let her know that she placed in my spirit, you know, to come to the meeting, because like I said, I knew about it or everything, but I just, you know, my mind just at that particular moment I wasn't thinking about it, so I'll be honest. But it's just basically where the pastor, he it's sort of like it's encouragement, but it's biblical too. He got, you know, he's coming from the Bible, but in serving, and you know, it's all about serving, because that's what we do, you know, the greeters and y'all pick y'all up, y'all, the servers, you know, I'm a greeter, so all of it is about service to the people who come into the church. But you know, it's very informative and very they usually have, I don't know if they're gonna have it today, because I didn't hear him say it today, but they generally have lunch usually, so I don't know if they're gonna have it today or not, but if they don't, it's okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go to this. I was planning to, we start a new system tomorrow at my job, but I was planning to get some more practice on the computer with the new system at my job, but I don't know, this is probably gonna go to 3:30 probably, or it may go to at least 2:30. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to try to, or either I just have to clock in a little early tomorrow and just try to fiddle around on the computer. But actually though, I don't think I can do that, because we go live tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna be able to do that tomorrow. So I see y'all. It's just a lot, but I feel like the new system that we have, that we're getting ready to embark on, I feel like it's not hard or anything like that, but it's just it's relearning a lot of stuff. You know, I was telling the lady at work, or lady at church, and she was saying how she's been off work for a couple of weeks or whatever, and she said she looked at her emails and she saw how many emails she had, and she said it's a bit overwhelming, so she wanted everybody to pray for her. But I was telling her, me and her had spoken individually, and I had told her, I said, you know, a lot of times, you know, when we got a certain thing in our mind about stuff, but I said, I was, you know, just wanted to encourage her. I said probably 100 of those emails, or even more, they're nothing emails. And I said, what I mean by that, you know, they could be just junk mail, or not junk mail, but you know, where somebody is just telling you something that maybe you already know, or you've already handled or taken care of something. So she said, yeah, that's true. So I was just trying to encourage her, to lighten, you know, her feeling about that, because you know, we all can use some encouragement from anybody, really. But yeah, she said she just got overwhelmed looking at that. I said, yeah, I understand, because you know, she said 400 emails, and I think she said she's been out 2 or 3 weeks, but sometimes you can have that many emails and you only been gone maybe a week. You know, some people do. So I get what she's saying. I sure didn't make light of it, because I've actually been there and done that. I haven't had no 400 emails, but I've been off work, and then I go back and I'm like, was nobody like helping do my job? You know, the jobs I've had in the past. But some jobs, that's just how it is. If you're not there, they hired you to do that job and nobody else. Now, there's some jobs that they will help out, you know, while you're gone. You know, if you're on medical leave or something like that, they'll make sure it gets done, but not really. You know, most of the time it will, you know, because to be honest, a lot of people, they don't want you to be off no way, if we be real about everything. But they will, you know, say, well, it'll be okay. You know, you'll be asking, and they'll know they'll know. I mean, then when you come back to work, it'll be like what she was saying. It'll be so much weight on you because you trying to catch up, and then things have happened, of course, in the time frame you've been gone. So, like I said, I get what she's saying. 'Cause I've been there. I've been there, done that. But I reassured her. I said, it'll be okay. I said, I should have reminded her, you're only one person. Well, you can only do what you can do, so don't stress about it. Do what you can do tomorrow when you go back. Let the rest be. It'll be the job security. The rest will be there for you the rest of the week. We gotta quit letting the little stuff stress us out, because there's so much other stuff that we can have our man on instead of stuff like that. Your job, yes, your job is important, but Jesus is more important. It's good to know I'm not the only one running late. I see a few people going in. I really have no reason to be running right at the last minute, because I kept looking at the clock and I was like, oh, it's almost one. Now I was gonna leave at like 1 o'clock, and I didn't, of course. I got to do better when I do that, because like I said, I keep forgetting we live now is right here. We live a little farther than what we did when we stayed with the lady at church. We live like 25 minutes out now. So I got to do better with my timing, because I'd be like, well, I could just, because at her house, of course, I didn't really have access to a car. I just walked or whatever. But here, like I said, I just got to do better with the time, time frame stuff. I never see y'all how far to go back. Just telling me I went too far back. So I'm gonna get in here in this meeting, y'all. I'll be back.